Hey guys, welcome back. This is day 10, and we will be talking about time today. So, how is it going? We are kind of building up on the last 2 days or 2 weeks, as long as you took to actually complete last 2 days' activities. Feel free to spend more time, as I said earlier, because these are the fundamentals. Coming to today's affirmation, day 10, I value my time and use it mindfully. So, what happens? What comes to your mind? Pay attention to when you say this. And this is very powerful, very, very powerful. It is kind of the thing that helped me become a stay at home mom to multi-million business owner because I started valuing my time and chose to spend it on the things that I wanted to. And the thing is that with this work, and especially with time or self-worth or self-love, there's always more to it, you know, because time is a human concept. This might not land very easy on for everybody, but time is a human concept. It doesn't exist. It's a concept for us to make sense of stuff. So there's always more time available, even if so. But just to simplify it, there is always more time you can make to do stuff that you want to do. Okay, I don't want to confuse everybody here. However, do go through this affirmation. I value my time and use it mindfully. See what comes to your mind. You would already think of a lot of opportunities where you can think of using your time more mindfully, right? So let's get to the actions for the day. Self-worth is equal to money. And that is the how can I make more time for myself? So for example, you have always been wanting to start reading. So, how can I make more time for myself? Is there a way I can actually start reading? What can I do that is not, you know, what can I change? What am I doing that is not as productive or not as enjoyable than the activity that I want to do? And how can I change it? Right? So, how can I make more time for myself? Everybody has only 24 hours. That means you need to shift a few activities, right? The things that are less important, let go of them. For example, if you're spending a lot of time in pickups and drop offs and something else, maybe look for a carpool. If that way you can swap some time with each other, and that will help you a lot with that time that you save. You can actually use on an activity that you desire. It could be workout, it could be reading, it could be lying down and watching TV, whatever you always desired to have. Or in this case, in terms of money, it could be the time that you want to spend on your business, right? How can I take myself more seriously and work more seriously? So, exactly, as I said earlier, that example of my family. So, as a mom, we always tend to put other things as priority than ourselves, when in a lot of scenario that is not the reality. A lot of times it is the reality, especially when your kids are little or babies or infants and toddlers. Of course there is a priority that they need to do some things that way. You need to be there for them to do things for them. However, is there a possibility to hire a caretaker? Maybe not. Is there a possibility to delegate something, ask a relative or a friend or somebody for help? I'm just giving you some random examples, but or sometimes multitasking, or what I'm trying to say here is, how will you make time for stuff that you want to get done? Right? You might need to actually let go of a certain mindset of being the perfect. For example, for me, it was I had to let go of a lot of chores which were not eating and cooking, for example. So, for example, cleaning was a chore that took the last priority in my house, because once my kids were sleeping and napping, I would actually go start working on my computer. And that was my way of focusing on that first, prioritizing your stuff, right? Instead of cleaning the house. I was okay with somebody coming to my home and seeing a mess for a while, because I knew it will only be for a while, and that, I'm not compensating on the hygiene. However, mess is okay and it's fine. I make that choice. I value my time more to actually work on the stuff that I desire. I wanted to be a businesswoman. I wanted to create a life for myself for freedom. And for that, I was okay to be a mess for a while in the home. as long as everybody's fed and nobody's hungry and everybody's safe, I was fine. So that's just one example. Again, if you value your time more, you would actually rather prioritize where you want to spend it. Delegation can be another thing. Carpool example I already gave. And then, when you start taking yourself more seriously and spending more time, like finding and spending more time yourself, like you identify an opportunity, take an action towards that. That's the most important and most energy moving stuff. Awareness is great. Identifying the next step is also awesome. But the shift happens when you take the action. And I won't be amazed when you take a tougher action. And tougher action doesn't have to be a laborious action. It's more about tough for you to do. Like it took you a lot of energetic, mental strength to do it for in whichever way. You might have to say no to somebody, or you might have to say, and you would see in most of the scenarios when you were actually thinking that you were never saying no because you were worried that this person will take it in a different sense. It might go against, it might impact your relationship with that person or whatever. You would see more often than not, it actually will end up in a very positive way. The boundaries would be clearer. The understanding would be better because you are setting clear guidelines, right? So taking those actions is when the energy shifts. And actually, you will see once you take that action, it is also your sign to the universe that yes, I'm ready for it and I'm serious about it and I commit to it. And once you commit through that action, the commitment only happens through the action. That's my belief in it. No matter how much you understand and are aware and are spiritually understanding about it, as long as you do that one action to move the energy, to give the commitment to the universe that this is what I am. I mean my words, I mean my thought. And that's when everything else starts running in this direction to you. And you will see a lot of serendipitous things happening to make things easier for you. If it is not that way, it might be a scenario where initially it seems a lot of tough decisions. Take it as a test to show your commitment. And once you take all those decisions, the tough ones, you will see it will start eventually becoming easier. So let me give you an example to actually clarify about it. So for example, if you're looking for a thing that you can delegate that task, for example, right? You've been doing it yourself, although it is not worth your time, or that you could have done something more important for your business, for your kids, for your family, for your health at that time. However, you're not doing it because you think you don't have enough money for it. And in your head, you have a number that delegating this costs this much. However, when you make that decision that no matter what, I am making the decision that my work is more important and I am going to find a person to delegate the admin tasks that I do and want to use that time in growing my business, my sales, finding more clients, understanding or working on a new product that my client wants or whatever. And once you actually go ahead and make that decision, make that job post, or whichever way you plan to hire that person, go ahead and take an action to actually look for that person. I won't be surprised if you find that person the best quality at a very low price than what was there in your head. That's universe helping you. But first of all, you need to go ahead and help yourself and make that action happen. I hope I am clear here. And as always, you are always welcome to ask more questions on the same. See you guys soon in the next one. And enjoy this journey. Have the patience and keep working. You guys are awesome.